Three, two, one. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 with Real Life with Levi. A little bit of catch up, I guess, before we get started today. I am officially in California, living in Los Angeles. What in the butt? I moved out here a few weeks ago, and it's pretty crazy. I didn't really know what was going to happen when I moved out here, but I had to make a change in my life, so I made a change. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. Thoroughly happy to be here. Every day is summer. The weather's just perfect. The people reflect that. So if that's a testament to the productivity California has, then, well, proof is in the pudding. So I've only been out here this is my third week today, actually. What is today? Saturday, the October 21st. So, yeah, fun stuff. When I came out here, I didn't have a job or anything. I just sold everything I had in Minnesota and moved out here kind of on a whim. I put a little bit of thought and premeditation into it, but, I just did it. Like, I didn't come up with excuses on why I couldn't do it or why it was hard. I just did it. And when I got out here, I needed a job, obviously. So I just networked and marketed myself like a motherfucker. I did the cold call way. Like, I really did just go on Google, look up every shop for what I want to do. I'm a scenic carpenter. Like, I build sets for movies and TV shows and commercials, stuff like that, theater. And so what I did was I just looked up every single shop that I could find on Google, and then I sent them an email and followed up with a phone call. And guess what? It's just a numbers game. If you have anything of value to what you're trying to get into, you can make it. You just have to do the hard work and be diligent. So, yeah, the first week I kind of just made a ton of phone calls, and by week 2 I had people calling me. It's a lot of fun, and now I'm working pretty much full time at a scene shop. Last week we worked on the Golden Globes, Real Housewives reunion, Bright Star, The Last Supper, The Four, which is a new singing competition on the Fox. It's not even out yet. But yeah, when you watch that, you'll you notice the stage and the setting and whatnot. And yeah, your boy Levi built that shit with his bare hands. But yeah, loads of fun. I love what I do. It's hard work. But you know what? I love being able to turn on the TV and see my work. And people ask, "Oh, what do you do?" Well, check channel 22. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, California, Los Angeles, Echo Park right now to be specific. It's just absolutely beautiful. We're living on a hillside, and it's a real hipster community. It's really green. There's tons of vegan shops or vegan restaurants and coffee shops, stuff like that, thrift stores. A big thing that people say about California is it's super, super expensive to live. So how did we get around that? Oh, and it's a really hard to find place. There is no vacancies. We kind of got around that by just thinking outside of the box. We started off living in just staying at Airbnb, but financially that was, law of diminishing return. You're at the end of the month, you just spent double what an already expensive apartment would have cost. So we got around that by looking for people who need pet sitting or house sitting, or they're sublets where they're going on vacation for a few months. It's LA. People have money out here. There's always options. There are always options. So yeah, love the place I'm staying right now. It's super conducive to a healthy lifestyle. And that's one of the coolest things about California is it's very easy to get healthy. When I was living in Minnesota, it's a very progressive state, very liberal state, at least Minneapolis is. So it's not hard, but it's not easy, I guess, at the same time. Out of 100 restaurants, maybe 15 of them you want to eat at, and of that 15, maybe 3 of them have healthy options. So you really kind of got to change your surrounding based on what you want to do. But not to say you can't create your reality where you are. Don't buy the garbage, go out and buy vegetables. It's a pretty simple technique you got to do. So yeah, today I'm actually going to give a free advert out there to My friends over at Onnit Laboratories. Oh my good golly goodness. I have been taking Alpha Brain for a couple days now, and I also got this new mood stress formula, which has 5-HTP and L-tryptophan and B6. This stuff is pretty incredible, not gonna lie. Alpha Brain is a nootropic, contains nootropics and a whole bunch of other earth-grown botanicals, amino acids, vitamin B6, and it's been clinically proven twice to help increase processing speed, memory, and focus. So yeah, I took Alpha Brain today. I took it yesterday, and it's not something like a drug. It's absolutely not. It's no drug at all. But it's not like a drug. You're not gonna like feel it and be like, oh yeah, I totally feel the Alpha Brain. No, you kind of realize that that task I just did was a little bit easier. Like I had an upper edge on it. And I think that's the entire point. Anything you can do in life to give yourself an edge is going to make you shine a little brighter than everyone around you. If everyone around you is doing similar things, if you're doing it a little bit better, you notice and other people notice. That's really important. So I guess with the segue to that, thank you on it. Hopefully soon you guys can sponsor me, and I'd love to promote your products. This stuff is great. Everybody needs to get on that. They have more than just supplements. They also sell like kettlebells and weight training equipment. It's total human optimization. So anything you want to do, to your body or your mind, they probably have a resource for you. If not something you can take or eat, methods that you can implement into your diet and lifestyle that can help you live a fuller and better life. So go on over to what is the website? I'll just go to onnit.com. Yeah, and they're based out of Austin, Texas. So great company, great company. So in regards to health, man, I have taken a complete 180. Yeah, I'd say 360, but that would put me right back where I started. So yeah, my life has taken a complete 180 in regards to health. And as I said in the first two podcasts, it's hard work, but conditioning yourself to be uncomfortable and you choosing what makes you uncomfortable really makes all the difference in the world. And day to day, you might not notice a difference, but you start looking week by week, especially with photos, and it motivates you, and you become dedicated to seeing the change in yourself. And it's really, really, really important to me and everyone else around me that I want in my life is like, I want you to want to better yourself. Don't be on a downgrading slope and don't plateau. And if you do plateau, recognize it, because once you're plateauing, you can either fall off or go back up. But if you need help, reach out and ask for help. I'm the type of person that really promotes, trying to help others. So here's another big thing that I kind of stumbled across, and I'll give the first one away for free, and then I just won't talk about it again because that's kind of the whole point. But the act is, do a charity, like giving money to a homeless person or helping someone out, and then don't tell anybody about it. I think that is a huge difference in doing something good, because a lot of times I got into this mild argument on Facebook with someone who said I was a narcissist because I said most help, or almost all help, has a self-interest caveat. And she said, oh, that makes you, maybe if you're a narcissist. And I don't believe that at all. Because at the end of the day, say you give someone, whatever, you help a homeless person out, and then you're talking about it the rest of the day. It's because you wanted to do that. You're wanting to do something. So there's your self-serving caveat. Like, oh, I was helping a homeless person out. Why were you helping a homeless person out? Oh, because they needed help. Yeah, but why did you help them out? Because I didn't want to see them suffer. See, there you go. You didn't want. You had a want that you were trying to fulfill. That's your self-serving caveat. So it's mild, but there again, language is important. Like, we created words for a reason, and they have a function. Be smart how you use them. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying every day to better myself. Every single day I learn something. Every single day I grow a little bit more. And it's not without failure too. Like, that's another big thing, is like sometimes you do fall down. You got to get back up. You just get right back up. Sometimes I say shit I don't mean. yeah, it's kind of hard to bite that bullet, but you got to do it. So yeah, let's go back to health for a second and the changes I made in my life and what I've been able to do. So I started this all in maybe mid late May. So what is it, October? So that's basically one summer's worth. I was able to completely change my physique, change my mindset, change my goals and ambitions in life. And today, compared to the beginning of summer, is a night and day different person for the better, mind you. And you just got to stay focused and dedicated, and you got to kind of have a plan. You don't have to have a plan, but you got to go into it with the right mindset of you just want something better and not just like, oh, I want abs or I want a six pack. Like, yeah, you can do that and you can achieve that, but my game is a little more complex. That seems a little more like A and B, and I'm kind of trying to do A to Z. So I don't want to get really, really healthy now and then say, hey, I did it, and then stop. Like, no, that's silly. Like, I want to see exactly how awesome life can be if I continue down this path. So what did I do? Right now, my diet's pretty disciplined, I guess I should say. Exercise, I'm definitely going to ramp that up a lot more, but the game has been like weight loss over the summer because when you're trying to like change your physique, your body can't like lose fat and build muscle at the same time efficiently. So the best thing to do is to lose the fat and then build the muscle. So what I've been doing is slowly, the first couple months was just kind of a free for all. I didn't know really anything about diet. I mean, I had known stuff before, but once I started researching again, my God, the last time I tried dieting was maybe 8 years ago, and even in 8 years, so much has changed. So yeah, you know it's junk food. Like everybody knows if something's good or bad for them. Like even if it says vegan and gluten free, that doesn't mean it's healthy for you. Like I'm pretty sure like Jolly Ranchers are vegan and gluten free. Good luck gaining or losing weight and getting in shape eating a diet of Jolly Ranchers. And those living proofs are walking around. All these well-to-do people who say, oh, animal cruelty, this, that, and the other thing, posting horrible, horrible stuff, just, being outraged about things, when then you look at them in person and they're like a cannonball with legs. It's like, you don't have much room to talk because, yeah, you might not be hurting animals, but you're going to cost our system a fortune in diabetes and, heart medications. So watch your words and be smart. Eat healthy. So, one of the real big things I did was I started cutting out the things that I knew didn't agree with my body. I've pretty much my entire adult life, I've had this mild aversion to dairy and lactose. And it's something that I was just like, well, I'm not going to give up milk. Like, what am I doing? Cheese? Come on now. And so I started eating less. Like, instead of eating cheese every day and a bowl of cereal with milk every morning, like I have almond milk with it. Or maybe if I had a burger, I would have no cheese on it. So, you just slowly, every little thing you do, like Tony Robbins calls it stacking your moments. And every little moment that you do, every little decision that you make helps you build better and better decisions for the future. And now, like today, just a few months later, I'm pretty much completely dairy free. Like maybe every once in a while I'll get something and it'll have like a sprinkling of cheese, and I'm not going to go out of my way to sit there and pick cheese off of something, but I won't order, like a slice of pizza. So yeah, like it's just too much. My body doesn't process it. It's like drinking a tub of rubber cement. Goes in, nice and smooth. I don't know if rubber cement would do that, but either way, it goes in fun and then it just binds everything up. So I had to cut that out. And then I really started trying to avoid gluten. I don't even know what that means anymore. But I think what I was trying to do besides avoid gluten really was avoid carbs, because I don't really have a problem too much with wheat per se, but what I have a problem with is over refined and processed grains. Because the moment you start breaking stuff down and bleaching it, and you just get these super already, well, that's why they call them processed. They've already been processed. Your body should do the processing. That's why you gain a lot of weight from this stuff, is because your body's not doing the work. It's just soaking up all the aftermath of it. And Yeah, after I cut out like dairy and carbs, the weight just started shredding off. Like, oh my goodness, I think I'm down. I started the summer at maybe like 242 pounds, something like that, just over 240. And right now, I haven't weighed myself, but last time I weighed myself maybe a week ago, I was 190. So I mean, there's 50 pounds for you. But it's not without hard work. Like I also started exercising and running, and in the mornings just doing some sit-ups and push-ups and crunches and little yoga here and there, making sure to stretch every single day. That's super, super important. But you can do it too. Like if I can do it, you can do it, and that is the truth. Because guess what? You're a human. I'm a human. If I can do it, you can do it. Unless, of course, you have a disability that doesn't allow you. Then there's other ways. Like there's always a way. So what is something that, like, say you, the proverbial you, what's something you could do that, like some advice I could give you that can guarantee you to lose weight? Well, the first thing is cut down on your portions. You'd be surprised. I kind of learned this with smoking weed. Okay, I'm gonna relate weed to food here for a second. But I noticed, like, when I first started smoking pot, like, it was kind of more the merrier. Like, oh, you just gotta smoke, smoke, smoke. And we were smoking blunts and blunts, and after a while, you realize, my God, I'm wasting a lot of money here. So what I started doing was, well, first off, I started smoking by myself. That's a big one. But I noticed that things take time. Same thing with drinking. Like I try not to drink really anymore, but you're looking for that instant effect, and like, nope, you got to give it like 10, 15 minutes before you feel what it's going to be. Same thing goes to food. And so, like, weed and food, instead of smoking a giant blunt or whatever, or instead of eating an entire box of pizza, like, try eating one slice, drink a big glass of water, wait 10 minutes. You still hungry? If you are, drink another glass of water. Eat some vegetables, like just chow down on a carrot. And that's another thing I actually did. Those days when I was feeling really bingy and like cravey, like I just wanted to eat like, like a big bowl of Fruit Loops, which, don't get me wrong, sounds amazing. But instead of doing that, I would just take like a bag of spinach or a few big carrots and just nom them down. It would suck, but there again, you're foregoing mouth pleasure for future benefit. So instead of pleasing your mouth for 5 minutes and then feeling negative effects the rest of the day from it, if you like, get over that, eat a bunch of carrots or like whatever, spinach. Well, all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later after you do that, you realize I'm not hungry anymore. And now on top of that, I feel amazing because I just did something beneficial for my body. And you just kind of stack those moments and you get this momentum behind you where it literally feels like the universe is pushing you towards something. And you can really feed off of that feeling. It's pretty incredible. Another thing I really cut back on was drinking beer. Like, beer is, I just read an article, like a standard beer has the same amount of carbs as 7 slices of bread. What in the heck is that nonsense? Like, no wonder I was gaining so much weight. I could put back, 20 beers in a night if I tried hard enough, or not tried at all, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But, you just cut back on your junk food, cut back on your portion size, start implementing better foods into your life, and, really try and, if you're hungry and you're cravey, fill yourself up. Just do it. Just a big glass of water is one that I always found really, really helps because it stretches your stomach out and it gets rid of that effect of having a void in your tummy. Smoking is another one. I smoked for like 10 years and it was gross. Like, cigarettes are disgusting. Once I stopped, like, you realize within like the first 2 weeks just how bad it makes you smell. And it's like, ooh, I don't want that ever again. And even more so, if you're not, once you quit smoking, you get more lung capacity and your blood pressure goes down and everything just kind of starts falling into place. And I didn't do it without a replacement, I guess I should say. I do vape, like I smoke my e-cig, and I know obviously that that's not great for you either, but compared to a cigarette, this has 3 things in it: vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, and flavoring, which mine is an all-natural organic butterscotch. So it's not like I said, you're still putting a foreign substance into your body where it shouldn't be, but it's that oral fixation, hand to mouth, and if you can make the shift, no matter how you got to do it, just make the shift. Smoking tobacco is bad. Like, it just is. I've had a lot of family members die of cancer. I've seen it just wreak havoc on everyone around me. And I smoked for 10 years, and it was not easy quitting, but having something else to sort of take the edge off, so to speak, really helped. Especially when you're doing it alongside everything else. Like, you can overload yourself too quick. Like, you don't want to just like do a huge life change overnight. Take baby steps into it, because otherwise you're going to burn yourself out right away, or something bad will happen, or you'll get injured and you'll get discouraged, and you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to do this for the long run. Like, I say this all the time, like I'm not playing checkers, I'm playing chess. Like, it might take me several years, but by the time I'm at the end, I'm going to be physically perfect. Like, that's my goal, is to be perfect for me. I don't want to look like Superman by any means, or like one of those big bodybuilder guys who doesn't look like they can wipe their ass or scratch their back. But if something bad happens, I want to be able to run away. I want to be able to like fend for myself. And more so, I want to feel good every day. I want to live a long, healthy life. I have a son. Like, I want to be there. I want to be able to play with him. I don't want to be like 40, 50 years old and can't like run around one lap on a track. Like, I don't want that in my life. So there are a few exercises I can tell you to do that will really, really, really help you a lot. That are real easy for beginners. I used to do P90X back when I was one of the other times I was big, and P90X is great. It's a little much though. Like, at first, like if you just jump into it, you're gonna have to take a couple weeks off because you just injured yourself and your body's not used to it. But I learned a lot of workouts in there that can be modified for people who can't do the full-fledged workout, and that's a great way to get like the base muscle and to shed enough weight to where you can eventually grow and do the bigger full-scale workouts where you really see growth. And a simple one is push-ups. You should crank out push-ups like as much as you can. That helps your chest, your back, your shoulders, your arms, your biceps, your triceps, like everything. Push-ups are an amazing workout, and it uses your body weight. Like, you don't need anything. I know when I was really fat, I couldn't do a push-up. So that discouraged me. I'm like, well, I can't do a push-up, so I won't do a push-up. And P90X taught me how to modify that. Instead of going up on your feet, go down on your knees. Like, make your knees your resting place, and that takes about 45% of the load off. I'm making that number up. I don't know how much, but it feels like half my body weight almost is just taken away. So if you modify your push-ups by using your knees versus your feet, you can get a lot more done. You can get more reps, and that gets your heart pumping more and kind of gets everything in motion. Sit-ups are another one. Sit-ups in general, I can't say should be avoided, but there are better versions of sit-ups, like even crunches. Like, just lay down on your back and just lift your shoulders off the ground and hold them. Lift your shoulders off the ground and hold them, off the ground and hold them. And just do that, 10, 12 times if you can do it. And yeah, you'll notice your heart rate goes up, and you'll notice your abs tightening up, and it starts to break apart those fat deposits. And I think that's another big thing about ab workouts is the actual crunching motion itself. It starts to move that fat around and break it apart more easily. That way your body can start to burn it off on top of all the other metabolism and everything else that's going on from doing it. So yeah, if you can, that's a pretty simple outline right there. Let me just kind of reduce it all back down to one sentence, to something that you can start tomorrow. So say tomorrow, what you can do is just do what you would normally do, but in the morning, just put on a timer for 10 minutes. You can afford 10 minutes. And just do simple stretches. Stand up, reach towards the ceiling, and then try your hardest to touch your toes. Hold it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, do it again. Watch a YouTube video on how to do some basic stretches. So that's what you should do first thing in the morning. Do a couple some push-ups, do some sit-ups, and just a solid 10 minutes in the morning will kind of like set the pace for the rest of your day, because the rest of your day you're going to have that in your mind like, oh my goodness, I just spent I actually did something this morning instead of waking up feeling groggy and blah blah blah, because it helps you wake up. I hate when people show up to work and they're still tired. Like, you should be awake by the time you get to work. You should be awake on your way to work. This is how driving accidents happen, when people wake up 10 minutes before they get to work. No, wake up earlier, do some workouts, then you're awake, eat a good breakfast, and then go. See how much better your day is. It's night and day. So yeah, back to a simple thing you can do every day. Wake up, do your stretches, do a couple push-ups, couple sit-ups, eat a good breakfast. I recommend like overnight oats. If you can look up an overnight oats recipe and you're not tolerant, or and you're tolerant to dairy, that's great, because it's like Greek yogurt. It's equal parts Greek yogurt, oats, and like almond milk. I throw in berries and nuts, and it's just jam-packed full of nutrients, and it fills you up wonderfully. Get yourself a multivitamin. And so there you go. Push-ups, sit-ups in the morning, stretch, eat a good breakfast, take a multivitamin. If you do that, everything else will fall in line. If you do that every single day, everything else will fall in line. That alone could probably drop you a pound or two over the course of 10 days. Now, if you carry that to the next level for like lunch and dinner and afterwards, squeeze in another stretch and quick push-up and sit-up in the afternoon and evening when you get home from work, before you go to bed. Watch your portion size and just be sure to do some physical exertion. It doesn't have to be a lot. Again, if you're just starting out, baby steps. And I kind of have proven this with myself, because that's exactly what I started out doing. And now I can go out and run 5 miles, come back, do 100 push-ups, do 20 minutes of ab workouts, ab wheel, stretches, and eat a complete gluten, dairy, carb-free, high-protein, high natural, dietary fat diet every single day. And now I've kind of got like, not a full-on six-pack, but it's getting close, and I'm really excited about that, because I've never had abs in my life. I've never had anything. I've never ever wanted to take off my shirt, like, ever. And I'm still not there yet. Like, I'm mentally still kind of in the same mindset, I guess. But I'll be there very soon. And I wouldn't feel too out of place now, because I kind of do the look around you. Are you in, what shape you're in, you look at yourself every day. Are you in better shape than that person? And that person, pick 10 people. And nowadays, I think I am within like the top couple people that I see in a whole, whoever I can see in my peripherals and in front of me. So, you can achieve this too. And guess what? The benefit is a longer, happier life, and you get to just feel amazing every day. So yeah, kind of to segue out of health and kind of back to California and living out here, and man, what a lifestyle change this place is. The perpetual summer is amazing. In my particular field of work, set design and carpentry and stuff like that, everybody's freelance. There's not like a full-time gig. Like, you don't just go into a shop like it was in Minnesota. Like in Minnesota, I got hired at a place. They had everything I need. You show up at this place 9 to 5 every, Monday through Friday, end of story. And that's kind of the way a lot of places work, or a lot of states and areas. LA is not that monster. Everyone here is freelance, and a lot of people said it's feast or famine. It's like, when the food's on the table, meaning the work, you take it, and that means you're getting prepared to have a famine. So everyone is freelance. You work project to project. There are no real hurt feelings here if you can't like show up one week at the place that's been giving you work because you got something else going on, or you just don't want to work that week. Like, you can do that out here because they have a non-stop Rolodex of other people who can fill that spot. And it's all gig based. Like, they're not going to hire you on full time for the simple fact that they can't afford to pay you when a project doesn't come in. It's a dog eat dog world out here, but just work hard, do a good job. Like Louis C.K. says, I don't understand how you can't do a good job and do your job. He's like, why do you have to make my coffee sarcastically? Oh, beautiful. Watch a Louis C.K. He is amazing. Um, but yeah, as long as you work hard and in regards to like marketing yourself, anybody can do that. Like you don't have to be a genius. Like we have the power of the internet at our hands. Google how to market myself, how to build a resume, how to build a professional portfolio. Start taking pictures of the stuff that you do. If you're in the building, if you have something like that. If you work behind a computer, like just start cataloging like the big projects that you work on, or like the things that you've done for companies. I don't work with computers. I don't know, but if like say if I was an accountant and there was like a huge accounting error that I had fixed for whatever, let's say Goldman Sachs, then write that down and save it for later. That way when you go to market yourself, you can say, oh, not only, I'm an accountant, I do this, that, and the other thing, and I've helped fix this problem for these people, I helped solve this, I saved them this much money. These are all things the company won't give you because they want you to stay there. But if you want to continue to grow and move on to better and better things, it's on you to be able to catalog those and use them to advertise yourself. So yeah, I mean, be good at what you do. If you're not good at what you do, then get better. Like, if you see where you're lacking in something, find someone to help you. Do research on it. Right now for me, for example, I really want to be smarter. That's why I'm taking Alpha Brain. And on top of that, instead of listening to music all day while I work, I put on audiobooks. I listen to podcasts. I want to just condition my mind into getting into a state of creating and learning. That way I'm like a sponge. You soak it up and then you squeeze it out, and you soak it up and squeeze it out. And I just want to be able to be the best I can be. And I think everybody owes that to themselves. Absolutely. And I think my purpose here is to, I don't want to just say help people or like, change the world with my words, but I want to spread awareness. Like if what I do can help someone else do the same thing, I am so happy with that. And it already has. My friends back in Minnesota, I follow them on Facebook, and it literally brings tears to my eyes seeing someone who just a few months ago was, their life's just not going in their favor and things are just going really bad for them, and you care about these people, but you can't hand stuff out. And that's really, really hard, is you can't be an enabler. But what you can do is you can lead by example. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Like, my friends ask, what do you do? And I tell them, I've been doing this. And a lot of times, they're, again, at the beginning, they won't see the change, just like you won't see the change in the very beginning. But then, towards the end of summer, I look back and I follow their Facebook feeds, and now they're trying to do podcasts, and they're wanting to better themselves. And instead of talking about and, just succumbing to the toxic lifestyle that they did, now they're making better decisions too. And these aren't like blue collar, white collar, white people with, everything kind of handed to them. Like, a lot of my friends are very urban black people who, let's face it, they've got a lot of shortcomings in life. Like, the system is kind of geared to drag them down, and I don't know how to relate to that because I can never feel what they've felt and go through what they've gone through. But I know there's this sort of general round life mode that you can get into that'll work for anybody, and it starts with getting in control of your mind, your body, and your health. Like, once you connect everything that is you and focus it towards something, and then the most important part is to commit. Like, stay dedicated to it. You're gonna have ups and you're gonna have downs, but if you keep striving forward, it's a numbers game. You have to make it at some point. Like, you don't have a choice not to. And I've seen it in my friends and people around me, and some people like seem kind of animus towards it, like show you animosity, and then all of a sudden they kind of go dark, and then you hear from them again and they're starting to take their life in control, and then you can see the change, and it's like, oh my god, did I help make that change in someone's life? amazing. Then I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep getting better at it. I'm going to keep focusing on it. So yeah, right now I'm focused on exactly that. I just started listening to an audiobook at work, Brave New World. I'm not going to go into detail about the book. Like, you need to read it. It's Dystopian Future by Alistair Huxley, or Aldous Huxley, I'm sorry. And it's pretty crazy. It's a deep book. The audiobook's like, I think over 10 hours long or something like that. And I didn't know anything about the book. I wanted more books. Like I wanted to learn. So what I did, I went on Google and I went top books on society. And that was the first one that came up. Went to YouTube, boop, popped that on, threw on my Bluetooth earbuds, and went to work. And that I'm on day 2 now. 2 days, finished that entire book. So tomorrow I'm gonna finish. I've got like maybe 20 minutes left in it. Tomorrow I'm going to start. I'm not sure of the book, but I think the book's called Skeptic. It was by Peter Schiff, I think. I don't know. I hope I didn't get that wrong. But he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast a few times. But yeah, it's about Skeptic. It's about conspiracy theories and then filling in the blanks and I love me a good conspiracy theory, don't get me wrong. But the point is, I need to read more. I need to, other people have put a lot of work into life in areas that I'll never be able to focus on just because I don't have the time and energy. I've got a lot of other stuff to do. But what I can do is while I'm at work, I can read their work. That way I can at least learn what they've learned without having to do all the meta research and data that they've done. And if you source your material wisely, use Google again, then you can kind of line up all the best things that you can soak up and really get some good data in you. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing and what I'm going to continue to do. And of course, just keep recording podcasts. A couple weeks ago, there was the LA Podfest, and I wanted to go, but the tickets were really expensive, and it was last minute. So my wonderful girlfriend, she said, hey, check this out. And there were volunteer spots open. And I got in on the volunteer list and went and worked. And next thing I know, I'm like talking to people who podcast for a living. And I realized I can do this. Like, I can really do this. I just got to sit down and do it. So today, we went out down to Hollywood, it was Hollywood, Sunset Boulevard. There's a Guitar Center down there. And I went down and bought me a nice AKG microphone and this little preamp that's 9-volt powered, and basically you just plug your mic into the preamp and then the preamp goes straight to your phone. And boy howdy, much different audio quality right now compared to holding my phone up pacing around the room. I actually feel like I've done something, like I'm building it, I'm doing it, I'm making my podcast professional, and I hope it sounds good. So I know I don't have really any following yet, but any feedback, if someone gets this far into my stuff, that'd be great. Leave me some feedback. You can find me on YouTube, Powerful Levi B, one word. Find me on Instagram, Powerful Levi B. Find me on Facebook, Levi Burns. Just look me up, find me, leave me feedback. And I'll do my best to always be very responsive. One of the big things about this is I never want to basically not respond to people and talk back and be part of the community. I think community is the most important part about this, is it reconnects us. So I'm sitting here pouring my heart and mind into this microphone, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about it, and I want to be able to communicate back and forth with people. So yeah, I think that's a good episode. We're going on 40 minutes now. So yeah, next week I'm gonna do this every week. It's been a couple weeks since my last one, but I've been trying to get in with a new hosting platform. I just signed up with Libsyn. They're gonna get me all hooked up on iTunes and everywhere like that. And wonderful people over at Libsyn. If you got a podcast and you're looking at really taking it off the ground, check out libsyn.com, libsyn.com. Great for Apple. Like, I'm using it via Android, and it works for Android. Like, you can get it through your internet browser through Android and still operate fully fine. But more people are on iPhone platforms than the iOS. So if it's just really functional, super professional, and they have like all around staff that are amazing. You can call them, email them, they get back to you quick. So yeah, it's all going pretty good so far. But yeah, next week, I met a life coach at the Podfest, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. Maybe we'll have to do like Google Hangouts or something like that, or Skype maybe. But if I can't get him, he wants to do the podcast with me, but I don't know how logistically we can do it, as he's in like Boston or something like that, and I'm in LA. But if I can't get him on, I'll at least get it recorded and saved for later. But I would really like to do these things as, fly-by-wire live as possible. And next week I'd like to have, hopefully, a guest. I mean, that'd be great. And if I don't have a guest, then I will do everything over the course of the next week once I realize I don't have a guest for next week. If that's the case, then I will write down cliff notes basically on topics that I want to talk about. This, I've said before in my first 2 episodes that this is going to be completely unscripted and unedited. I'll obviously remove burps, that way you guys don't have to deal with that, but this is as free form. I'm going to sit down in this chair and I'm not going to get up until it's over with. But I might make notes just on topics that I want to talk about, and that's one of the things that one of the guys over at I think it was Libsyn told me, was if something happens to you during the week and it inspires you or it makes you feel good, write it down. That's something to talk about every single time. Write it down, log that note, because otherwise you'll forget it unless it's something just outstanding. But the point of life is everything is outstanding. You just have to be able to reflect on it and see how that later came to fruition or whatever, Anyway, people, I love you to death. I really, really do. We need each other. I need you. I think I have something to offer you that can greatly benefit people. So, yeah, thank you for tuning back in. This is episode 3, end of October. Next week I'll actually be in Minneapolis visiting my son, and I might take this stuff with me and do an episode there. Actually, that might be a great idea, because I have a bunch of musician friends there that would love to jump on this podcast, and a bunch of my friends in the hood too. Like, man, the stories we can get out of that would be amazing. So maybe I'll do that. That sounds like a good episode. So how about that? How about we plan for a guest next week? You see how we do that? That's how you operate life. Come up with a plan, talk about it out loud, write it down, and figure it out. It's a math problem with things other than numbers. But once again, I love you very much. All of you. We are the same species. We all want to see each other succeed. We want what's best. We want what's best for one another at the end of the day. And I think this is a perfect platform to be able to distribute that. So until next time, it's your host, Levi. Thank you for tuning in to Real Life with Levi. Bye.